I'll tell you what, you have a double bottom. Now, here's the issue. Here's the question you'll have to answer with this double bottom. We do have a double bottom. It is RSI oversold on the first one, divergence on the second one. So beautiful at structure, everything we need. There's one question that you would have to ask yourself. What do you guys think that question is? I'll give you a clue. The question should be answered before we even assess the double bottom. What do you think that question is? Where's the target? Before we even get to targets, think about our process. IPDE, identify, predict, decide, execute. Here's the question. Do we have a directional bias? So before we even get to the double bottom, the question is, do you think from where price is currently trading at, do we have anything in our analysis that tells us that price is likely to continue higher versus lower? And there's no wrong answer to that question, right? That is going to be based off your opinion, which comes from your analysis. And everyone kind of looks at things a little bit different. Everyone has different kind of aggression levels and whatnot. That's why I say there's no wrong answer. I refuse to say there is a black or white way of trading. I feel like any trader or quote unquote coach, educator that tells you that, I'd run away as fast as possible. Now they may say based on how I analyze the markets, not for me, or I don't think so. But if anyone tells you you're trading wrong, that's a big red flag of like, stay away. Because in my experience, all the professional traders that I spoke to, they are very open with their opinions because they know that there are so many different ways to trade. But that's the question you have to ask yourself. And again, that's why we do that IPDE process, identify, predict, decide, execute. We should have the answer to a directional bias. Do I think price is likely to go up or down before we ever get to this point? Before we even realize it's a double bottom, we should already know that I want to get long, or I want to get short, or I don't want to do anything. That way, by the time we get to that double bottom, I can look at this on the 15, and I put out a tweet this morning saying, hey, had a great day yesterday. And one of the mistakes that I used to make in the past was I would have a great trading day. I would come back on a kind of a boring, no setup type of day, and I'd be so fired up off of yesterday's great day, feeling myself a little bit. I got the magic touch. Everything I touched turns to gold. I would just start trading signals that weren't great signals. And then I'd give them my money back. That was the story of my trading. I would have great days. I'd get overconfident. I'd give all my money back. And I would do it taking signals like this, where it's like, oh yeah, we can justify anything, right? Oh yeah, dude. Structure, got it. Double bottom, got it. RSI oversold, got it. Divergence, got it. Let's do it, right? I would justify whatever reason I could to take the trade without going through the process without the most important thing, directional bias. The most important thing in the market is your directional bias, your prediction. The entry only gets you involved in that prediction. The most important thing is the prediction, the ability to make a prediction. It's like we said yesterday, even if you don't get a chance to enter trades, tap yourself on the back if you make the correct directional prediction, because big picture, that's what's going to benefit you the most. So this is why we have that IPDE process, identify, predict, decide, execute. Because I can identify price action is, okay, we're at the bottom of a pin bar here. We're at a previous level of structure, right? Predict. Do I have any reason to predict that price is likely to go higher? Well, we're in consolidation. I don't really have a reason to think that we're likely to we're going to continue back up here. So no. So I would never check that box. So therefore, when I get down to the 15, this would be irrelevant, right? The what is not as important as the where. This double bottom would mean really nothing to me because I don't have a directional prediction to go higher. Again, this is me and my personal outlook. If your prediction is different, then that's fine. It's a beautiful trade to take. But that's how I filter out those trades. It's just sticking to that process and checking one box at a time before going to the next box, right? Not when I go to IKEA, buy something, not skipping steps. Follow step 1, step 2, step 3, and go in that order. Greg says, not for me, but I can argue that it's around the ice zone. Yeah. Well, I think it's a great level of structure, yeah. But again, going back to the question, Greg, right? We have an ice zone here, right? Previous structure support. We can look at this little thing as support as well. Resistance right here. I think we're at a good level of structure. But the question still remains. So does that level of structure allow you to predict that we're likely to continue up here? That's still the question we have to answer. Because just being at the presence of structure, does that necessarily mean that we believe we're going to rally up? So we can, yeah. So those are, and Greg says no. That's still the main question. Now, this being an ice zone, this would help with like if I were trading up here, knowing that this is an ice zone, that would help massively with saying, hey, this is where I want to take profit. I don't necessarily want to shoot for all the way down here with target ones. I want to take some money right up here because this can be a dangerous zone. But for me, it doesn't necessarily, because in order to make money off of this move, I need the price to do this. I need price to go up. And this ice zone doesn't necessarily allow me to predict that price is likely to continue higher. Why? Because we just went higher. We just went higher. We retested structure looking left. And now we came back down. So what do I always say? Has the move already been made? Well, for me, yeah. We already went higher. Is there anything telling me that we're likely to go higher again? No. If this move violated this level, higher high, higher close, would that change your opinion, guys? If we put in a higher high, higher close, how would that change? Let's do a little technical test here. If we put in a higher high, higher close, would that change your opinion? Like right here, say this. If this was the higher high, higher close. Sorry. Would that have any effect on your opinion? Greg says yes. It would for me as well. You know why? Because now, going back to that process, identify, predict, decide, execute. Now I can identify a higher high, higher close. Identifying a higher high, higher close, right, allows me to predict that price is likely to do what? What's the prediction that we make when structure is violated? In this case, to the upside. Now we can predict that price is likely to continue higher. Well, now all of a sudden, this is nothing more than a pullback. And this is a pullback to the ice zone that Greg mentioned, which is a key level of structure. Now, this double bottom with our RSI overbought and our diversions is a nice entry reason, right? The decide factor to get involved in a continued move higher, because that's what our prediction is, because we identified the higher high, higher close. You see how it changes things? Process. Sorry, I love it. It makes it so simple. We don't have to think. I mean, we have to think a little bit, but we're on an assembly line, where it's just we're checking off boxes. Okay, what do I do here? Check, check. That means that. Check, check. And it keeps us in line. It keeps us consistent. And as I always say, consistent analysis plus consistent execution equals consistent results. So if you're interested in learning how to trade, regardless of your level, whether you're brand new or maybe you're experienced, but you're kind of stuck at this obstacle that you need help overcoming, I recommend checking out our website, www.tier1trading.com, as we have a handful of educational resources ranging from full training courses to supportive resources to a great community network of traders for you to work with. Now, if you're on the fence, start with that 14-day risk-free trial membership. What that does is give you 14 days on the platform. You can take a few courses, you can hop in some live sessions, and you can chat with our community to make sure that we're the best fit for you. So check it out today, www.tier1trading.com. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you, well, on my next video.